Let's learn gallery walk strategy with Cem, Yahya and Mahmut. In this video, we will be talking about the implementation stages, advantages and disadvantages, examine some of the previous done researches and what should be done to effectively use this method. Before we finish, we will do a quick summary. Let's start with what gallery walk is and some historic information. Unfortunately, it is not exactly known when and who came up with this method, so we'll have to move on. Gallery walk is a discussion technique that gets students out of their chairs and into a mode of active engagement. Let's continue with previous researches. There are two researches on this field that stand out. The first one was in Iran when two students named Marzban and Ali Nejat examined the impact of cooperative learning on reading capability in 2013. 60 students were chosen to participate in this investigation. They were arbitrarily separated into two groups of 30. Initially, a pretest was given to the members, and after the treatment, a post-test was done. A similar research was done in 2015 by 3 students who investigated the impact of collaborative learning on enhancing speaking capacity and diminishing worry of Iranian EFL students. 60 female intermediate EFL students were chosen, learning at a private language institute in Iran. They were arbitrarily separated into two groups, traditional educated and experimental. Both were given similar errands, however, the experimental group needed to do them collaboratively. After the treatment, an oral test was conducted. Besides, to look at the impact of collaborative learning on diminishing pressure, pre- and post-anxiety tests were directed to the members. Now let's look at the results. The obtained results in this study show that using gallery walk technique can enhance the students' language learning. Additionally, the gallery walk strategy influenced the students more to appreciate in the light of the fact that the atmosphere of the learning procedure was not very formal. The learners can express what they need to state, and it can build their aptitude in addressing their ideas to other friends. The students were more dynamic and keener on communicating in the speaking exercises.
Let's look at step-by-step instructions. 1. Generate questions. For a class of 20, write 4 to 5 questions. For larger classes, can be written more questions. 2. Write and post questions. Before the class, write the questions down and post them on the wall or on a desk. 3. Prepare students. The first time gallery walk is used, give students instructions for carrying out the technique. 4. Group students and assign roles. Arrange students into teams of 3 to 5. Provide each group necessary materials. If cooperative learning techniques will be used, assign roles like leader, reporter, monitor, and recorder. To add even more cooperative group structure, add an emissary role. This added role forces group members to channel their discussion through another member of the group. 5. Begin gallery walk. Direct teams to different charts or stations. Upon arriving at the station, each team writes comments for the question posed at the station. 6. Rotate to new station and add content. After a short period of time, groups will be rotated to next station. At the new station, groups add new comments and respond to comments left by the previous group. 7. Instructor monitors progress. As groups rotate, the instructor nurtures students' discussion and corrects misunderstandings. 8. Return to starting point. Teams continue to review the answers already contributed by previous groups, adding their own comments. This continues until groups have visited all stations and returned to the station at which they started. 9. Report out. The group synthesizes what has been written about their original discussion question. The reporter summarizes the group's comments and makes an oral presentation to the class. Alternatively, students can write a written report. 10. Guide for student understanding. During report out stage, the instructor reinforces correctly expressed concepts and corrects for misconceptions and errors. Variants of the gallery walk technique. There are 2 variants of the gallery walk. 1. Gallery run. Gallery run is a speed-up version of gallery walk. The questions posted at each station are lower-level questions involving knowledge or comprehension. Consequently, students don't need to spend much time discussing questions at each station. 2. Computer tour. Computer tour is carried out the same way as a gallery walk, except the question or image to be discussed at each station is pictured on a computer rather than posted paper on the wall. The advantage of this approach is that images for discussion can quickly be posted. What should be done for the effective use of the technique? Color walk is most successful when students are properly prepared to use it, and when instructors are familiar with its effective use. To ease students into color walk, provide them with an introduction. Find a concise step-by-step summary on how to implement color walk. Assessment is important to see what students gain from the experience and help students take this technique seriously. There is also an evaluation form to judge the effectiveness of color walk.
Gallery walk is flexible and has many benefits. Let's look at the advantages. 1. It dedicates time for students to practice discussing, debating, organizing, and writing rather than just hearing ideas presented by instructor. 2. Promotes the use of thinking skills like analysis, evaluation, and synthesis. 3. Students interact and synthesize the concepts, making learning more effective than in a typical classroom environment. 4. Students get to know about different perspectives of the same topic, thus improving the learning opportunities. 5. Reassures students that their voices, ideas, and experiences are valued because students are more likely to share ideas among non-threatening group of peers. 6. Promotes team building, fosters debate, and encourages consensus as students work to accurately represent group members' ideas at different gallery walk stations. 7. Students are encouraged to move around without having to sit in one place for a long time, removing boredom, which otherwise makes learning uninteresting. 8. Can be extended by asking students to work on an assignment for the same or related topic based on knowledge constructed during the activity and evaluating the work. There are some limitations as well as advantages. 1. A few students in the group may not actively participate in the knowledge construction. This can be addressed up a certain extent by assigning specific roles to students in each group and then asking them to rotate roles when they reach the next stations. 2. Students prefer to learn individually and hence may not participate in discussions. For these learners, the teacher can mention the benefits of teamwork and how it can be helpful for them in the near future. 3. Evaluation may not be just. However, this issue can be addressed by the teachers by having an evaluation rubrics in advance and making students familiar with it.
So to sum up, gallery walk is a discussion-based technique that aims to improve students' communication skills. Student teams in gallery walk typically number 3 to 5, which facilitate the group work. The instructor prepares several discussion questions. Questions can gauge knowledge and comprehension, or can tap to higher order thinking skills involving analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. And here are our resources. Thanks to everyone for listening, and I hope you learned something new.